The year is 333 BC. Storm clouds gather over the narrow plains of southern Anatolia. A young conqueror marches deeper into enemy land. His victories behind him, but his greatest test still ahead. His name is Alexander the Great, and this time he will face not generals, but a king. Far to the north, the great king of Persia, Darius III, has assembled a massive army. This is no provincial force. This is the full weight of an empire. Infantry from across Asia, cavalry from distant lands, and at its heart, Greek mercenaries, hardened soldiers who know the Macedonian way of war. Darius does not intend to merely stop Alexander. He intends to crush him. But war is not only decided by numbers, it is decided by movement. In a bold maneuver, Darius marches behind Alexander's position, cutting his supply lines and placing himself between Alexander and his homeland. It is a dangerous gamble, but it works. Alexander is forced to turn back. Two kings now move toward each other on a collision course. They meet near the Pinarus River, close to the town of Issus. The battlefield is narrow, hemmed in by mountains on one side and the sea on the other. What should have been Persia's greatest advantage, its size, becomes its greatest weakness. Darius cannot deploy his full army. The space is too tight, too confined, too unforgiving. Alexander sees the opportunity immediately. He arranges his army with precision, the phalanx in the center-long spears, forming an impenetrable wall. Cavalry on the flank, swift, deadly, disciplined. And on the right, he places himself. Because that is where the battle will be decided. Darius watches from his chariot, surrounded by guards, banners, and the symbols of empire. He believes his numbers will overwhelm the Macedonians. But Alexander is not here to be overwhelmed. He is here to strike. The battle begins. Persian forces surge forward, crossing the river. Arrows darken the sky. The sound of metal echoes across the valley. The Macedonian phalanx advances, step by step, shield to shield, spear to spear. In the center, the fighting is brutal. Greek mercenaries clash with Macedonian infantry. A deadly mirror match of discipline and skill. Men fall in waves. The river runs thick with blood. But the center is not where Alexander intends to win. On the right flank, he sees it. A weakness. A slight opening in the Persian line. That is all he needs. He forms his companion cavalry into a wedge, a spearhead of elite warriors. Then he charges. The ground trembles beneath galloping horses. Dust rises into the air. Alexander leads from the front, straight toward the heart of the Persian army, straight toward Darius. The Persian line begins to buckle under the pressure. The speed, the precision, the violence of the charge is overwhelming. Alexander cuts through the defenders, driving deeper and deeper toward the king. Darius sees him coming, the young Macedonian king, unstoppable, relentless, closing the distance. And in that moment, the great king of Persia makes his choice. He turns, and he flees.
The sight sends shockwaves through the Persian army. If the king has abandoned the field, what hope remains? Panic spreads. Formation collapses. What was once a mighty army begins to disintegrate. Meanwhile, the fighting in the center still rages. Macedonian forces are under immense pressure, but with Darius gone, the outcome is inevitable. Persian resistance crumbles. The battlefield belongs to Alexander. As the dust settles, the scale of the victory becomes clear. Darius's family, his mother, wife, and children have been captured. His army is shattered, his authority broken. But Alexander does something unexpected. He treats the royal family with honor, not as prisoners, but as royalty. It is a calculated act, one that sends a message across the empire. He is not just a conqueror, he is a king. The Battle of Issus is more than a victory. It is a turning point. For the first time, the Persian king has faced Alexander and fled. From this moment forward, the balance of power has shifted. Asia is no longer secure. The road to the heart of the Persian Empire now lies open, and Alexander is coming.